What is up, everybody? My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to land jobs when you charge more than your competition. Before we get into that, I do want to mention that the pressure washing business course will be going up in price starting August 1st. It is currently $199. It will be increased to $299. It's never going to be this low, so if you've been thinking about hopping in, it's going to be the first link in the comment section and the description. The second link is going to be the testimonials. We've been getting some absolutely crazy testimonials from this course. I just want to let you guys know, if you're interested in it, hop in before August 1st and save yourself $100. Let's go ahead and hop into this one. We're going to be talking about how to land jobs when you charge more than your competition. So I got a comment on a recent video that I'm going to go ahead and read. If you guys have any other questions similar to this or just good questions in general, leave them down in the comment section. I'm going to be trying to build out a series where I'm basically playing some old footage, talking over it, and answering some good questions. So if you have any of those, leave them down in the comment section. The question of today is, I quoted a job very similar to this one on a high-end neighborhood for $450, and the owner told me that's double the price of what 3 other people quoted me, so I lost the job. So big shout out to Bad Weather Freak for this comment. The first thing I want to start off with regards to pricing is some people are just price shoppers. There's nothing you can do about it. In this case, this guy got 3 other quotes. Obviously, he is price shopping, and in the case of a price shopper, they just want the lowest price. What I want to talk about in this video is how you can separate yourself from your competition. A lot of customers want the best for their home, so they will not always go with the lowest price. They will go with the best service provider. So I'm going to give you guys a list of things that you can do to position yourself to be the best service provider, or at least the best quote that they got. All right, so the first thing that we kind of need to ask ourselves is, what differentiates us from a guy who is charging less? So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and run through a list of different things that you can use to position yourself as the better service provider. So here we go. First things first, we want to lean on the fact that we are licensed and insured. I think a lot of people in the business are not licensed and insured, and I think a lot of customers, homeowners, just assume that whoever's coming to do a quote is licensed and insured. So if you are, make sure you include that within the estimate. Also, we want to send better estimates than our competition. A lot of people, especially just starting out, or if it's a cheaper guy, if he's charging half the price of you, I guarantee he's probably just sending over a price through text message. So how can we differentiate ourselves? We can create better estimate sheets that are laid out. One of the biggest things with the estimates is you want to have them itemized. So if you are charging double what your competition is, justify the price increase. So that way they can kind of go through and see, you know what I mean? Even if you're higher on labor, higher on chemicals, higher on travel, things like that, factor all that in there. If someone can kind of run through and see, okay, boom, 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 this is why I'm being charged this, they're going to be more inclined. However, if you're just sending over a text message that says $450 and you got this other guy sending over a text message that says $250, who are you going to go with? It's a clear decision. So we need to work on having better estimates. If you have a CRM, you have an ability to build in a tab within the estimate that can include testimonials. That's even better. If you have a tab that you can build into the estimate to include before and after pictures, that's even better. So you want to include a couple of those things within your estimates. You can find a CRM that's going to probably be most beneficial to you. That way you can step up the quality of your estimates that you're sending out, because with that CRM, you will also be able to send estimate follow-ups. So not only will they get that first email, text with your estimate in it, if you don't hear back from them, you can set, time frames in which your CRM will follow up for you, and that's going to set you apart even further. Another thing is obviously how you carry yourself. Are you showing up on time whenever you say that you're going to go out and do a quote? Your appearance when you do go out to do a quote. Are you wearing a company shirt? Is it tucked in? Or are you kind of grungy? Is your car all beat up? Does it look, we want to separate ourselves from the competition. So we want to carry ourselves professionally, but we also want to dress professionally, and we want to be in the best situation possible. So even if you drive a minivan, I've gone out and done quotes where I was driving a $1,200 minivan that I was driving at the time. You can make sure that it's washed, make sure that the tires are shined up. You can do a couple of different things. Focus on professionalism when you show up to do a quote. Also, knowledge. When you're walking around, drop some knowledge bombs. People don't know what SH is. They don't know what kind of chemicals you're going to be using. They don't know what needs to be treated. They don't know how the mold and algae growth is affecting, their property. So kind of brush up on some of the things, and you can even kind of run through the same routines. Point some different things out. Spread some knowledge on the customer that they might not have been aware of, so that way you establish yourself as an authority whenever you're walking the premises. Another thing that we can do is quoting in person is better than just sending a price. I've done this in the past. I've gotten lazy, or I've gotten too many quotes than what I can handle at the time. If that's kind of your scenario, then you can quote over the phone. However, it's always better to show up in person, because we'll be able to make that, personal appearance. We'll be able to show how we carry ourselves. We'll be able to spread that knowledge, like I said, kind of establish ourselves as that authority. Quoting in person is better than sending a price over the phone. When you can, quote in person. You want to establish some community with the homeowner. So if I'm in a neighborhood that I've done jobs in before, I'll establish some community. I'll say, I did a job down the street. I did so-and-so around the corner. Establish that familiarity. You know what I mean? People in that neighborhood are already doing business with you. It makes sense for this lady or this person that you're doing the quote for to do business with you. Also, if you're in an area, maybe you went to the high school in that area, you can mention that. Or if you know someone who lives around there, maybe you can mention that. Just say that you did some work for them, but establish community with your customer that you're dealing with. You want to become more personable. I think a lot of times, we chalk everything up to price. People don't buy things typically because of price. They usually buy just from people that they like. You know what I mean? I know you guys have probably been in a situation where, like, you went to a car lot and there was a car that you really wanted on the lot, but the salesman was being pushy, or they weren't willing to work with you on finance, or the guy was just very bland and stale and you just didn't even want to do business with them. I've been on the opposite side where I went to a car lot and maybe the car, I didn't like it as much, but I really enjoyed the personability of the salesman and I wanted to do business with that person. The same thing is true within your pressure washing business. Work on your personability. And then lastly, stack all of these to create a compounding effect. So I'll run through them one more time. We want to lean on the fact that we are licensed and insured. We want to provide better estimates. If we can, we want to provide testimonials within our estimates. We want to provide before and after pictures within our estimates. We want to do estimate follow-ups to keep up with those customers that don't get back with us. How we carry ourselves is extremely important. We want to be aware of our appearance. We want to be aware of what we are saying to the customer within the process of giving them the quote. We want to drop little knowledge bombs so that way we do come off as the authority within the quoting process. We want to quote in person for higher conversions on our quotes. We want to establish some community with the homeowner. So we want to reference a job maybe that we did in the neighborhood, or somebody that we know that lives closer to the high school that we went to. We want to become more personable. So work on your pitch is on the latter half of this. But if you stack all these things, you kind of create that compounding effect and you'll be able to land more jobs even if you are charging a higher price. So a couple things that I want to touch on before I go and wrap this thing up. We want to think in terms of, okay, who's quoting? How can we differentiate ourselves from them? And then also think about the big companies that you do business with and why you shop with them. Why do you rather shop with Amazon than buying something off of eBay? Maybe you trust that buying process more. Why would people go into Apple and pay twice as much for a laptop computer than they could get like a PC for? Because you associate Apple with a higher quality. So people are willing to pay more. They're willing to go and buy from people who they trust. So you kind of want to establish that same thing within your service business. So last thing I want to mention before we go and wrap this up, if someone only cares about price, you don't want them as a customer anyway. They're not going to be good to work for. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below positioning and I'll hashtag you a real one. My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed. If you're interested in the course, it'll be the first link in the comment section in the description. The second link will be to the course testimonial. The price will go up $100 on August 1st. And until next time, hustle hard and get that money, baby. Peace.